Well, we got a lot more fans around us for the post-game show here,
Just a
folks.
little bit.
Anyway, again, Frank Rossi with James Baker here on In the Huddle Game Day Live final at this point, 56-7 Brockport. That helmet that he's pointing to on the table that I think he's going to have to put on at some point, like I did during the pregame show during our selections.
Yeah.
JB, it was pretty much early and often Brockport today. Hobart, not the team that showed against them last year and made it a semi-close game.
Yeah, it was.
Shane Sweeney obviously no longer with them. Hoffman tried in earnest to do a good job as quarterback today, but that defense of Brockport was in his face continuously.
Yeah, I just spoke with senior strong safety Matt Arita's dad a few minutes ago, and that pick six for 60 yards really kind of punctuated the game, not the first half. Really dominating performance by the Golden Eagles on both sides of the ball. They look very much like top 6, top 5 team in the nation right now.
Joe Germanario today with 343 yards passing, 24 for 27. That's efficiency. 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, 9 yards on the ground, and 3 carries. So all told,
we start the Garlardi campaign for him today. I mean,
wow. The Garlardi campaign may be officially started. He's got the grades. He should probably have some service under his belt by now, and he's a junior, folks. So he's got more where that came from, but let's not jinx it yet in terms of that. It's way too early to talk about it, really.
Sure.
But, it's a performance like this that will keep you on the radar. He was already on the radar after last year, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
So,
well, we were talking a little bit about statistics, and here's just a couple quick ones to rattle off of how dominant of a performance it was for the Eagles today. 517 yards to 124. Hobart was only 1 of 10 on third down. There were 2 Hobart turnovers that we mentioned, one being the pick six touchdown by Arita. There was also, it looks like Brockport converted 8 of 12 of third downs of their own, so just move the ball on offense, shut Hobart down on defense. The Statesmen, I don't know if this is, the thing where it's like they just didn't show up or whatever. I just think this Brockport roster is stacked right now. Hobart's going to need to regroup. A lot of players make their first collegiate start or get in their first collegiate game today against one of the top teams in the nation, if not the best team in the entire East region. At least it is according to our poll that D3Football.com editor Patrick Coleman adds to. So I have a feeling Brockport will be definitely our number 1 after this performance. Hard to top it. Really, I don't think there was anything in this game that Brockport didn't do well.
Do you ding Hobart after a game like this, or do you sort of keep the jury out?
I think you keep the jury out. Like I said, there were a lot of young guys getting their first action. It's a new offense. There's a lot of new players on defense. This Brockport team is just really stacked, and I think if you're a Statesman fan, you just have to kind of take the licks and look forward to what should be a pretty good matchup at home against SUNY Morrisville. I believe they won pretty convincingly today, so they're no pushover. And so if Hobart wants to get that first win for new head coach Kevin DeWall, no better place to do it than at home.
That is true. We've got some highlights to run if our first interview is not going to show up here, so I'm just trying to figure out what order we should do this in. I think I see Joe right now to our right. From what I understand, we've been bribed, though. We had some garbage bread delivered to us right before this post-game show started, I think from the Germanario family. Being Italian, there is a way to bribe us. Let me just tell you that right now. Anyway, let's see if he's going to come this direction or not. His brother did not start for Union today, but let's see what their final was.
I saw a 30-7 at one point, Frank. It looks like the Dutchman took care of business. I think, like we thought, the John Smith era, having ended up there at Husson, would have an impact, and it looks like Bellamy did a nice job.
370 yards for Will Bellamy, 3 touchdowns for Union, and a 30-7 win over Husson in Schenectady. 19 for 29, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, and no sacks. That's impressive for that offensive line, indeed. Joe's playing mayor of Brockport right now, I see. To my right. Let's see if we can get him over here. Nothing like good web streaming when we're just got to figure out if we go to a video or not. I'm going to make a call here and say we're going to get up a couple videos and we'll handle it that way.
Good. There's one of the stars of the show right there. We could drag him over.
Go ahead if you'd like. Please do.
Hey, Matt. Is that Matt? I think it's Matt.
31. Matt Rita. Yep.
Yep. You guys send Matt over here real quick. Prime time. Come on down.
And Matt Rita.
Just join us right here. Good. Senior strong safety, Matt Arita. You had the pick 6 today. Congratulations.
Congratulations, bud. Good.
Heck of a performance. I mean, I know that Coach Fox's defense has given Hobart troubles over the years, back when he was at Fisher, obviously now. I mean, what do you think it was today? I mean, you guys pretty much played a perfect game, all intents and purposes. Maybe you wanted the shutout possibly, but for the most part, you hold a program like Hobart to a single touchdown. You hold them to 124 total offensive yards.
Yep, absolutely.
What'd you think?
I just think as a defense, we're just so confident. I mean, we returned 9 starters, and we talked about it all of camp. I mean, just going against our offense every day, going against guys like Tyree, JoJo, Hubbs, Benson every day. It really just makes the game so much easier, and we pride ourselves on competition in our program, and we get it every day. So coming out here, it really makes a huge difference, and it's easy for us.
You make it look easy.
Yeah,
I don't know about
how
easy it really is. Were you surprised a little bit, though, in terms of some of the holes that Hobart seems to have on their team right now? It doesn't seem to be fully reloaded compared to last year.
Yeah, we knew we lost their All-American quarterback, All-American receiver, so that's tough to replace in any program. But I just think we didn't know really. We weren't too sure what they were going to have, but we came prepared like they had Sweeney and Shed. So, for us, it didn't really matter who they had out there.
Keith McMillan asked us a question. I'm curious to see what your view is. Is Brockport that good? Is Hobart not that good? Is it something in the middle right now?
I think it's so early in the season. It's tough to tell. We're still just going to try to find our identity as a team, as a defense. So I think, Hobart's definitely got some talented kids on their team. So I think maybe, graduating a lot of kids. They got some younger guys in there, and then, they'll, get better as the season goes on. But I think right now we're just confident in ourselves and our team, and we're just playing hard.
Yeah. Next week you have Ithaca, who you guys know from from their Empire 8 days. They've jumped ship to the Liberty League, but they're still on the schedule. You know the Bombers pretty well. They're always a tough out. You're going to Butterfield, which is one of the most picturesque, and old school stadiums with the grass field. What are your thoughts, kind of thinking ahead on that one?
We played them last year. They had a new coach last year, and they had that young quarterback come in during our game.
Wahid Nabi.
Yeah, finish out the season. So, and he made some plays even against us. So we know they have their All-American receiver. They got some weapons. So, it's a tough task for us. So we got to get ready, and we just got to go to practice, and we got to get prepared.
Shout-outs. We still allow you to do them. We're live here, so go ahead, give some shout-outs.
I'll give some shout-outs to our whole coaching staff, especially our defense. Coach Fox, Coach Blau, Coach Williams, Coach Miller. They did a great job today, and definitely shout-out to my family and my parents for making the trip up.
Some of the family right here waiting for you on the side, so we won't hold you up any longer. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Yep. I see the beard.
I see German Ariel. Let's see which one we land on first here. Let's pull Joe G. This is right over your shoulder, I think, if we can.
Here he is. I've actually never met this guy in person.
Take a moment.
Hey, how's it going? Congratulations.
Thank you, man.
Thanks for
finally meeting you in person.
Yeah.
He really exists, Joe. He really exists.
What a game.
Yeah.
Whew.
And so tell us about this game. I mean, were you nervous coming in? What were your thoughts before we even took a snap? Were you thinking, could it be a letdown scenario with a team like Hobart? Where were you mentally before the first snap?
We were ready to go. We were sharp all year, or the first 2 weeks in camp, and we were hungry to get out there. We wanted to avenge that loss and wanted to pick up where we left off, and we felt we did a good job of that from the first play of scrimmage, giving our guy a chance to get going, and it kind of propelled us the rest of the way.
I saw him about, a month ago or so, just before preseason started, and you were chomping at the bit back then with your brother John, who did not get the start today, unfortunately, with Union, but the team did win.
What was the final?
30-7. Will Bellamy had a great day.
Coach
Steve Potter, the offensive coordinator.
JP's real. I didn't know JP was real. I thought he was imaged in. Huh?
He is. He's just a robot.
All right, before you
Oh,
run
he's
out of here,
photo.
I gotta wait.
He's the Nick Boehner of Brockport right there.
You're not gonna get off the hook. So, Coach, was that 77-yard bomb play? Like, you knew that was going to be the first play of the game, or is
It's
it
all
something?
Coach Mangoni.
Yeah?
It's all Coach Mangoni. I'm offensive coordinator in title.
Okay.
The guy that calls the plays, makes the plays happen is Coach Mangoni. But we said what, Tuesday that was going to be the first play?
We usually
Monday?
we script the first three.
No, the first play was in a lot earlier this week than usual.
What are you guys, the San Francisco 49ers of the 80s and 90s there, scripting your offensive
looked
plays?
We're going to stretch the field. We're going to stretch the field.
Man.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Thank you for all your help.
56-7, did you ever see that happening?
No, I mean, I don't know. We just wanted to go out there. We were really excited to just go play another opponent. We didn't end up scrimmaging anyone else. A lot of these other teams did. We had 2 inter-squad scrimmages, and we were just chomping at the bits. We didn't know what the outcome was going to be. We were just ready to go play another opponent, and it worked out in our favor, obviously.
So Joe, with kind of with the fast start, I mean, there was the early touchdown, but then on your second series there was the fumble. Was there any thought on the sideline like, oh, here we go, or is it just you guys knew you have so much confidence in this defense with so many returning starters, so many All-Americans? Is it kind of like, no big deal, we'll just get the ball back in a few minutes?
Yeah, obviously every possession we want to capitalize on good field position, and we didn't know if Tyree scored or not, but we'll have to look at it on film. But kind of you answered my question. We are so confident in that group. I mean, you have Lawrence Jenkins made his first start today. Number 32 had a great game. Alex West off the edge. Matt Szymanski coming back. Matt Arita had a great game today. He's another fifth-year guy coming back. So there's a plethora of talent. You got Austin Dean in the middle. I mean, the depth we have at D-line to linebacker to secondary, it's the best we've seen and best we've had. It's even better than last year. So we have so much confidence in that group.
Yeah.
But the strange thing about you today is you only had 3 carries, I believe, for 9 yards. We usually talk about you being the magician. There was concerns about the offensive line. Would you be able to be exactly? So you end up going 24 for 27 for 343 passing, 3 touchdowns in the air. This is not necessarily a Joe Germinario-esque performance that, let's say, the folks at D3Football.com would have, expected. We didn't necessarily expect it. Did you see yourself as being limited in the run in a game like this, maybe because of your line or because of the defensive line of Hobart? What was the mentality here for maybe a pass-first approach to this game?
So the game plan was not for me to run the ball. We know the ends when we go inside zone. We're going to read that backside defensive end. He likes to sit, so it was a lot of give reads there. And a lot of times when I'm scrambling trying to make plays, I'm not looking to run. I'm looking to extend a play and throw the ball downfield. So, there was only one time the DN crashed and I carried it. And then I think I had a couple carries from scrambling just from throwing the ball. So the game plan is not for me to run. We have a ton of weapons on the outside. I mean, we had Justin Morrison played great.
Hubbard was amazing. He was just lights out, man.
So we have a ton of weapons. Obviously, we talked about the defense with their depth. We have a ton of offensive depth from running back to receiver to our O-line, really.
The meat of their schedule this year, comparatively to last year, is really up front. You and I were talking about this, JB, and maybe we should ask him about what's coming up here, I guess.
Yeah, well, at Ithaca next week, you know those guys. I mean, obviously took it to them last year. They had a rookie quarterback. Navi's gotten a lot better. That team's gotten a lot better. So it's probably not going to be the same type of game as you saw last season. You're going down to Butterfield. What are your some initial thoughts on playing the Bombers?
Yeah, again, kind of answer my question. I was reminding guys after late in the fourth quarter that we have to understand that this QB is not is going to be a little better than what we saw at Hobart. Nothing against them. I just feel like he's played. He won the Rookie of the Year in that conference, and he's going to look to have a really good second season. So we know it's going to be a dogfight down there. We're on the road, on a grass field. We haven't, we're not. I don't think it'll be too big of an issue. But
nice turf one here.
Ithaca won today against St. Vincent, 38-14. Not exactly an opponent that you would think would have challenged them anyway, but they put up 38 against them.
Well, 38-14
against St. Vincent.
Okay. Yeah, but back to your question, it's going to be a dogfight. We know. We only won one game. If the season stopped today, we have 0 conference wins and we are 1-0. Just because we won by X amount of points, that did not give us 3 wins. It's 1 win, and we have 11 weeks to go.
There may be some distance between the top to bottom teams here, or top to middle teams in the Empire 8, because we see Washington and Jefferson beat St. John Fisher 37-12. A lot of people thought that St. John Fisher would place a little bit more in that game. So, I mean, what is the view of the conference? You're only a couple of games away from starting up conference play here. Are you ready for that flavor? But first, Ithaca. I always have to think. Ithaca feels like an Empire 8 team, though, still to me, because of the moving last year officially. But I mean, you ready for this? Is this kind of like that? You said you guys didn't scrimmage. Did this feel like upper end scrimmage type situation for the regular season? How did you approach it in that respect?
Yeah, back to what you said earlier. We're not looking ahead and worrying about what other teams are doing in their non-conference play. We're worried about Ithaca right now. And then the following week, St. Lawrence. We can't look ahead and just say this team won by this amount or they lost to them. Oh, that means when we play them that we should take care of business. We're not worried about that. We are 1 week at a time, and that's what helped us last year, where we took it 1 week at a time. From week 1 to week 10, and then the postseason came around, and we took it 1 week at a time.
That's French for Frank. You're the only jerk that's thinking about 5 weeks in advance right now.
Yeah, exactly.
And week 1, no less.
He's baiting me.
Yeah.
I'm not baiting you. I wouldn't do such a thing to you, Joey. Where did this come from? There's a rumor.
She every game she tries to bring up either garbage bread or big buffalo chicken dip.
There you go.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah,
that will go great for the 3.5 hour ride home tonight.
Yep.
Shout out.
That was for distracting you during under center goal line there. I didn't say hello earlier.
It was a little busy.
Literally, I'm hiding by the upright,
Yep.
goalpost,
yeah.
goalpost, whatever. And he sees me there, and as he's about to bark out the play, he's like, "Frank Rossi in the house." I'm like, so like, Joe, call your play.
That's great. That's great.
Thank you for that, though. You get shout outs as always.
I just want to shout out all the coaches that work extremely hard and put together a great game plan for us, and every teammate top to bottom. You guys played great, and even when the ones came out, 2s and 3s picked it up, and you guys did great. I mean, you guys worked so tremendously hard day in, day out, and shout out to you guys, man.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Congratulations,
Nice to meet
56
you.
to 7.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, we'll be looking for you all season.
Did the beard escape us?
Yep, I think so. I think
Did
that.
you get a pregame interview?
He didn't. He's escaped us twice.
He's laying low. We'll track him down some other time.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to. We'll
Yep.
get him on the show, don't you
Yeah,
worry.
yep.
Nonetheless, I think we're going to close this one out, to be honest with you,
I
JB.
think
I
so.
appreciate you coming up from Florida to do this, and your wife, Jen, putting up with us both on this
Yeah.
whole thing.
Probably got a little sunburn today, but next time I'll remember my sunscreen. I guess.
Well, we both.
Yeah.
This was a warm day, to say the least, and I wonder.
Florida-esque, but
Next week is supposed to cool down a little bit, so
Hopefully.
as you leave, you're taking it with you.
Figures.
Final thoughts on today or this week as a whole for Division III, and don't forget we'll have some segments throughout the week.
Yeah, I mean, I think so far there really hasn't been any major upsets or surprises. I mean, I think that the
Widener game maybe
the
a little bit.
Widener, yeah, Rowan, taking that one and the kind of the crazy finish of the Utica game that we talked about earlier. But we'll have to sort of see how more of the scores shake out. I think the teams that we thought would win did, except for maybe, I think Del Val was a little disappointing. I mean, obviously Hobart, does not look like the same program that they've been in past years. But I have confidence in Coach DeWall that he'll turn things around, and we'll come back. I think probably Monday or Tuesday next week with a full recap, and
Sure will.
go from there.
And next Saturday I will be in Albright doing a little bit of live work, but nothing like this.
Yeah.
This is that's a game that's between.
Can't come up to Pennsylvania, Frank.
Yeah. And we are wrapping up
We're
right
wrapping it
now,
up right
literally
now.
as you speak. So
Yep.
we're going to say goodbye. That was them pulling the plug on us right there. See that?
We're out of here. Well, thank you.
Everything go well?
Yes,
Everything
it
went
did.
great.
Thank you very much, guys. Thanks for everybody who watched and put up with this today.
Of course, of course. So like pizza bread right there you go.
Absolutely.
Garbage.